Hey there, everyone. This is Mr. LaBelle, the orchestra director over at Wekiva High School. This video is meant to walk you through how to submit an assignment on SmartMusic, and I'm also going to include some tips and tricks to help you practice more efficiently using SmartMusic, especially while we're in this distance learning platform. So I'm in a student account right here with a couple of assignments past due. I'm going to focus on one specifically. I'm going to go into Woods Bolero right here, right, via the start button. But while I'm on this page, I do want to direct your attention to right over here, the Find Music section. When you're not submitting assignments, you have the full capability to go ahead and search through any music that's on SmartMusic you want. You can also use these tabs over here to find your method book, some solos, whatever you want to look through, you have the opportunity to do so. So that's the search function. If you're going to submit an assignment, you always have to go through the little start button with the assignment. You cannot just search for the piece that you're supposed to do, because then it won't have all the settings that your teacher had set. So you're going to hit start right over here. Select your instrument. For right now, I'm a violinist, so I'm going to select violin 1 and hit OK. All right, as that loads, you're going to be presented with a bunch of different tabs and buttons and options that we're going to go through that will help you practice and record and submit your assignment. The first thing that pops up is going to be the instructions. If your teacher wrote out some instructions for you, they're going to be right over here, in addition to how many points the assignment is going to be or what rubric they're using to submit to grade your assignment. So I'm going to hit close for right now. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the opportunity to listen to a part that you need to play. Say you're not sure how something goes. You can listen to what you need to record by hitting this play button right over here. So I'm just going to hit that play button and take a listen. So I'm not going to let it play all the way through, but it's going to be playing what I'm supposed to record to submit. Now, notice my blue little cursor right over here, right? That's where I left off. If I was to hit play again, it's going to start from right here. So I need to click wherever I want it to start from. I want it to go back to here the next time. I want to listen to that again. So I click there, and then I can hit play again to listen to it. All right, let's direct your attention up here on the left-hand side. You have your metronome, right? Your tempo. You can go up or down, and you can calibrate the metronome and reset it. That's the calibrating the microphone thing, which we'll get to in a moment. Other important feature here is you have a tuner embedded into SmartMusic. This is the best way to tune your instrument so that SmartMusic grades you appropriately. Use this tuner that's right here at any point. It's the tuning fork right in that corner, and you can tune each string of your instrument appropriately. All right. Now, couple things. So a couple tips and tricks in SmartMusic that some of you may have never realized. If you're unsure of how to play a specific note, or if it's in tune, or anything else regarding that specific note, you can click on that note, and there's two little circles that come up right underneath it. One of them is going to play the pitch for you, and the other one, if you click on it, is going to show you the actual fingering of the note, right? That's an F natural. So it says 1 of 2. There's another fingering of it, right? If you had the E flat, if you had an E flat before it, that's another way, a low 1, but the F natural is still there. I'm going to stick with this fingering because in this key signature, I have a regular E natural and not an E flat. So it's going to show you how to finger that. You could also play it on your instrument and match the pitch. All right, so that's a couple things in there. Now, when it goes into playing along with SmartMusic, right, you have the option to play along as it plays, or you can go ahead and record. Recording is that red circle in the middle that you're going to have to do to complete your assignment anyway, right? So I'm going to click back to the beginning. I can hit play and play along. I don't have to record every time. Or I can go ahead and hit record. This is the simplest way. You're just going to do your assignment. I'm going to hit record. What it is going to ask you to do first, it's going to have to calibrate your microphone, make sure it actually hears what you're doing. So it's going to play this strange high-pitched tone to make sure your microphone can hear it. Sometimes it takes a couple of times to work with it on a school laptop. You can try connecting to a speaker, plugging in a speaker to the headphone jack of your laptop, a couple different ways to do so. So you're going to hit test your microphone, and it's going to say success. Hopefully you are ready to perform. If you have headphones plugged in or of the sort, right, it won't hear it through the headphones, but if you have a speaker plugged in, it may work. I'm going to hit start. As soon as I hit start, it's going to count me off, and I'm going to start recording. All right, and now it's recording. right? It's telling me I've got so many things wrong as I'm going because I'm obviously not playing the part. Again, I'm going to do just that section. I'm going to hit stop. Now, it's grading me based upon the whole section that I was assigned. So you can see right up here, I got a 2%. I did wonderfully, right, at that tempo marking. I can save that to my computer. That's not saving it in Smart Music. I'm just going to save it to my computer if I want to. I can download it and keep it as my own little souvenir of my 2% take. And if you look at the colors that it shows here, right, any of the yellows are a rhythmic issue. They show you this note, I played this D, or it thinks I played this D, I sang this D a little too early. This A was too late, right? This C was too early, and so on. If it's red, it means the pitch was wrong. So you notice this G right here? It thinks I played a C, right, when it should have been a G. This is just, it was an E, but it was slightly out of tune. Again, it's just going based upon the voices I was talking through. Right? So those are the different colors of notes that you're going to see as you go through. Now, I don't have to do anything with this take. I can just delete it, right? Or I could submit it to the assignment. Now, let's go through a couple of different ways to effectively practice to get that 2% up to a higher percentage. I'm going to go back to tracks right here, right? Say you want to go back and listen to your part, but only your part and not the accompaniment. I can go right up here. And I would turn the accompaniment off by clicking on that. I'm going to keep the metronome on because I want to hear how well I'm with the metronome, but I'm going to turn my part on. I can even make the metronome not as loud or louder, and that's what these sliders are for. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to listen to just my part the way it's supposed to sound. And pause. Again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, right? So that's how it's supposed to sound. Now, this button right over here, right, is to go back and listen to what I just recorded. So it's going to hear me talking over it, but you can see what I'm talking about. And now it's recording, right? It's telling me I've got so many things. So it's what I recorded before when I was supposed to be playing. Now, I want to direct your attention to this little exclamation point in the red circle. That is basically saying that you changed some setting at some point in some way, shape, or form, whether it be a metronome change, whether it be what track can be playing, you changed it, which went out of the teacher's settings. The teacher is not allowing you to submit it this way because you changed one of their settings. Sometimes you might know what that was, sometimes you might not. Usually it's having my part on because no teacher wants you to be able to play your part and cheat by playing your part instead of you actually playing it. Right? So the best way to go back to the way the teacher wants it is you hit that button right there and says your take will not qualify for a submission. You can still work with it that way. But if you want to reset it and continue recording, you're going to hit this button right here. That will take all the settings back to the way your teacher had them so that you can go ahead and record. And I believe it's going to go ahead and try and record it right away. Right? And if you don't want to, you can hit stop because I'm not ready for that. Now notice my previous take went away. I didn't save it. I didn't do anything with it. But it is right under here under most recent. So you can always go back to it and say, hey, the next time I scored a 1%, I'm going to go back to my 2% and I'm going to submit that because that's the best I can do. That's not true. You can always do better than a 2%. Now, a couple of other reasons why this submit button might not show up, right? That might not show up if you didn't go into the assignment with that start button at the very beginning. If you just searched for the piece of music or somehow changed something and went over here and searched for something else and came back to it, right, you will not be able to hit that submit button. You'll have to redo it by going into the assignment itself. So be very careful about that. I don't think students have to worry about the assessment tab. I don't think you have much stuff in there, right? It's just going to show you the average tolerance, and that's what teachers are setting up. So you don't have to worry about that. The loop feature is really, really, really cool. All right. This allows you to say I'm really struggling with measure 9, right? I'm going to hit set, right? Actually, I'm struggling with measure 9 and 10. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to take this and drag it. So this is going to allow me just to practice measures 9 and 10. So I'm going to click there. My cursor is there. I'm going to hit play. Right? Now it's not playing anything at the moment because I turned off, we'll go back to that. I turned off my part, right? Go back to the loop, click at the beginning, try play again. Okay. There it is. Right? So it's going to hear that section. Let's try playing that one more time. It's just going to repeat that section over and over again. Count you off again. Now, notice how it counts you off in between each time. If you'd rather not, you just want to play these two measures over and over again in a loop, you go right up here. It says use count off between loops. I don't want it to use a count off between loops, so I'm going to unclick that. And it's going to keep looping it. Now, say you want, okay, I want to include the next two measures. Same idea. Count you off. And it'll go all the way through. And it'll loop it. All right, so that's one thing you can use as a practice tool in Smart Music. Right? Whenever you have something that's ready to go and ready to submit, right, you're going to have that submit button under My Takes ready to go. So you can see my exclamation point. I can't just record those 4 measures. I have to reset it and get it ready with the teacher settings ready to go. All right. Keep in mind that the score it gives you is Smart Music's assessment. If your teacher has it set up that Smart Music will grade your assignment by itself automatically, and they're going with just that score, that will be your final score when you submit it. However, right, if the teacher has other parts of their rubric that they added, that will just be a section of your rubric. Also, you saw my assignment was out of 30 points. This is giving you the percentage. So at 100% would be a 30 out of a 30. 96% would equate to a certain number of points out of 30 as well, and so on. So I hope this was clear and you understand how to submit an assignment on Smart Music. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your teacher, or they can give you my contact information, and I will be glad to answer any questions as well. On the top right, I did forget to mention, you have this to get back to your home and finding music and so on. All right. And you can go to your grade book to see all the ones you've done already. Hope your families are staying healthy and safe, and I hope this video was extremely helpful. Have a wonderful rest of your day.